3 simple exercises to lower blood pressure fast. Are you tired of relying on blood pressure medication and wondering if there's a natural way to lower your numbers quickly? What if just 3 simple exercises performed for 15 minutes daily could drop your systolic pressure by 10 points and your diastolic by 5 points in as little as 2 weeks? Over 116 million Americans struggle with high blood pressure. Yet most don't realize that specific exercises activate your body's natural pressure regulating systems more effectively than hours at the gym. Johns Hopkins University researchers discovered that these 3 exercises work by triggering nitric oxide release, improving arterial flexibility, and calming your overactive stress response. Your doctor probably prescribed pills without explaining that targeted movement can literally reprogram how your cardiovascular system responds to stress. Stay until the end, because I'll reveal the one timing mistake that destroys all your efforts, even when you're doing these exercises perfectly. Here's what's exciting. Most people with high blood pressure don't realize that squeezing something as simple as a hand grip for just 12 minutes daily can trigger dramatic blood pressure reductions that rival medication. The first exercise to lower blood pressure fast is isometric hand grip holds, specifically sustained squeezing that activates your body's natural nitric oxide production and arterial relaxation mechanisms. Isometric hand grip exercises involve squeezing a grip device or even a rolled towel at 30 to 40% of your maximum strength for 2 minutes, then resting for 1 minute, and repeating this cycle 4 times. University of Michigan researchers made a groundbreaking discovery about how this simple activity affects blood pressure. People who performed hand grip exercises 4 times weekly for 8 weeks experienced average reductions of 10 millimeters of mercury in systolic pressure and 7 millimeters of mercury in diastolic pressure. Think about this. When you squeeze and hold, your muscles compress blood vessels in your forearm, temporarily restricting blood flow. This creates a localized stress signal that your body interprets as a threat to tissue oxygen supply. In response, your endothelial cells lining your arteries throughout your entire body, not just your forearm, increase production of nitric oxide. This molecule acts as a powerful vasodilator, relaxing smooth muscle cells in arterial walls and causing blood vessels to widen. The beauty of this mechanism is that the nitric oxide effects extend far beyond the exercising muscles. McMaster University studies show that isometric hand grip training improves endothelial function throughout your vascular system, meaning arteries in your heart, brain, kidneys, and legs all benefit from improved flexibility and responsiveness. This systemic effect explains why such a small muscle exercise produces whole-body blood pressure reductions. The optimal intensity for blood pressure benefits sits at 30 to 40% of your maximum grip strength. To find this level, squeeze as hard as possible for just 2 seconds to determine your max. Then squeeze at about 1/3 that intensity for the actual exercise. This moderate intensity creates enough vascular stress to trigger nitric oxide production without causing excessive muscle fatigue or dangerous pressure spikes during the exercise itself. Stanford University research demonstrates that the blood pressure lowering effects accumulate over weeks of consistent practice. During the first week, your endothelial cells begin responding more sensitively to compression signals. By week 2, you'll notice your resting blood pressure starting to decline. Maximum benefits typically appear after 6 to 8 weeks of regular practice, with many people maintaining lower pressure as long as they continue the exercises. The equipment needed is remarkably simple and affordable. A basic hand gripper costs less than $15 at any sporting goods store, or you can use a rolled hand towel squeezed in your fist. The key is maintaining consistent pressure for the full 2-minute intervals without letting your grip weaken. Set a timer to ensure accurate duration, because 2 minutes feels much longer than you expect when your muscles are working. Proper breathing during hand grip exercises enhances their blood pressure benefits. Never hold your breath during the squeeze, as this triggers a pressure spike called the Valsalva effect that temporarily raises blood pressure dangerously high. Instead, breathe normally and steadily throughout each 2-minute hold. Some people find it helpful to count their breaths, aiming for about 12 to 15 breaths per 2-minute interval. The recovery period between squeezes is just as important as the active phase. During the 1-minute rest, blood rushes back into your forearm tissues, carrying fresh oxygen and removing metabolic waste products. This reperfusion triggers additional nitric oxide release and helps train your arteries to respond more efficiently to changing blood flow demands. Don't skip the rest intervals trying to speed through the workout. Alternating hands during your workout session distributes the training stimulus evenly and prevents one-sided muscle fatigue. Start with your dominant hand for the first 2-minute squeeze, rest 1 minute, then switch to your non-dominant hand, rest again, and complete 2 more cycles alternating between hands. This creates a balanced workout that takes exactly 12 minutes from start to finish. The cardiovascular adaptations from hand grip training extend beyond immediate nitric oxide effects. Research from the University of California shows that regular isometric exercise improves baroreflex sensitivity, which is your nervous system's ability to regulate blood pressure moment to moment. Better baroreflex function means your body responds more quickly and accurately to position changes, stress, and activity, preventing the dangerous pressure spikes that damage arteries and organs over time. Most people notice their resting heart rate declining alongside blood pressure improvements during hand grip training. This indicates improved cardiac efficiency, meaning your heart pumps the same amount of blood with fewer beats per minute. Lower resting heart rate correlates strongly with cardiovascular health and longevity, providing benefits that compound over years of consistent practice. Before we continue, I'd love to know where you're watching from and how you're managing your blood pressure right now. If you're working to lower your numbers naturally, make sure to subscribe to Cardivive and turn on the notification bell. And if this content helps you, type 1 in the comments, or 0 if it doesn't. I want to keep improving for you. Here's what most people don't realize. The way you breathe directly controls your blood pressure through powerful effects on your autonomic nervous system. The second exercise to lower blood pressure fast is deep breathing with paced respiration, and I'm talking specifically about slow, controlled breathing at 6 breaths per minute that activates your parasympathetic nervous system and lowers pressure within minutes. Deep breathing exercises involve inhaling slowly through your nose for 5 seconds, then exhaling slowly through your mouth for 5 seconds, creating a respiratory rate of 6 breaths per minute compared to the typical 12 to 20 breaths per minute most people take at rest. Harvard Medical School researchers discovered that this specific breathing pattern reduces blood pressure by an average of 8 millimeters of mercury systolic and 4 millimeters of mercury diastolic when practiced for just 15 minutes daily. Think about the difference between shallow, rapid breathing during stress versus slow, deep breathing during relaxation. Rapid breathing activates your sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response that increases heart rate, constricts blood vessels, and drives blood pressure higher. Slow breathing at 6 breaths per minute maximally activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest response that slows heart rate, dilates blood vessels, and lowers pressure naturally. The mechanism involves specialized pressure sensors in your carotid arteries, called baroreceptors, that monitor blood pressure continuously and send signals to your brainstem. When you breathe slowly and deeply, the rhythmic pressure changes in your chest. Cavities stimulate these baroreceptors in a pattern that enhances their sensitivity and responsiveness. Mayo Clinic studies show that improved baroreflex function from breathing exercises helps maintain stable blood pressure throughout the day, not just during the practice session. The 5-second inhale and 5-second exhale pattern creates optimal coherence between your heart rate variability and respiratory rhythm. Your heart naturally speeds up slightly during inhalation and slows during exhalation. When you breathe at 6 cycles per minute, this heart rate variability reaches maximum amplitude, indicating optimal balance between sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system activity. The belly breathing technique enhances the pressure-lowering effects of paced respiration. Place one hand on your chest and one on your abdomen. During inhalation, your belly should expand outward, while your chest remains relatively still. This diaphragmatic breathing pattern maximally inflates your lungs and creates the largest pressure changes in your chest cavity, amplifying the beneficial effects on baroreceptor function and autonomic balance. Proper posture during breathing exercises optimizes their cardiovascular benefits. Sit in a comfortable chair with your back straight but not rigid, feet flat on the floor, and hands resting on your thighs or abdomen. This upright position allows full diaphragm movement and lung expansion. The timing of breathing exercises influences their effectiveness for blood pressure control. Practicing in the morning sets a calm tone for your entire day by establishing parasympathetic dominance before stress accumulates. Many people find morning breathing exercises help prevent the dangerous blood pressure surges that commonly occur during early waking hours when heart attack and stroke risk peaks. Evening practice before bed improves sleep quality by reducing the stress hormone levels that interfere with restful sleep. The cumulative effects of daily breathing practice produce remarkable cardiovascular adaptations over time. Duke University research shows that people who practice paced breathing for 3 months develop lasting improvements in autonomic nervous system balance that persist even on days when they skip their practice session. This indicates fundamental changes in how your nervous system regulates cardiovascular function, rather than just temporary effects during practice. The stress resilience developed through breathing exercises extends far beyond blood pressure control. Regular practitioners report feeling calmer during typically stressful situations like traffic jams, difficult conversations, or work deadlines. This improved emotional regulation happens because daily breathing practice trains your nervous system to default toward parasympathetic activation instead of the chronic sympathetic overdrive that characterizes modern stress patterns. Combining breathing exercises with positive visualization amplifies their blood pressure lowering effects. During your practice session, visualize your arteries relaxing and widening, blood flowing smoothly through flexible vessels, and your heart beating steadily and efficiently. Research from the University of Texas shows that this mind-body approach produces greater pressure reductions than breathing alone by leveraging the powerful connection between mental imagery and physiological responses. The zero cost and minimal time requirements make breathing exercises the most accessible blood pressure intervention available. You need no equipment, no special clothing, no gym membership, and only 15 minutes daily. This simplicity removes every obstacle to consistent practice, making blood pressure control achievable for anyone regardless of financial resources, physical fitness, or schedule constraints. If you're finding this helpful, please take a moment to hit that thumbs up button because it helps this video reach someone else who might be struggling with high blood pressure that could be controlled naturally. Here's the game changer. The simple act of walking at a brisk pace activates multiple blood pressure lowering mechanisms simultaneously, from immediate nitric oxide release to long-term improvements in arterial structure. The third exercise to lower blood pressure fast is brisk walking, and I'm talking specifically about 30 minutes of walking at a pace where you can talk, but not sing, performed at least 5 days weekly. Brisk walking involves moving at approximately 3 to 4 miles per hour, which translates to covering about 1.5 to 2 miles in 30 minutes. This moderate intensity creates the perfect cardiovascular stimulus for blood pressure reduction without the joint stress or injury risk of running. University of Colorado researchers discovered that people who walked briskly for 30 minutes, 5 times weekly, reduced their systolic pressure by an average of 11 millimeters of mercury and diastolic pressure by 8 millimeters of mercury over 12 weeks. Think about what happens in your body during brisk walking. Your leg muscles contract rhythmically, squeezing veins and propelling blood back toward your heart against gravity. This muscle pump action reduces the pooling of blood in your lower extremities and helps maintain efficient circulation. Your heart rate increases to meet the oxygen demands of working muscles, gradually strengthening cardiac muscle and improving pumping efficiency over weeks of consistent practice. The shear stress created by increased blood flow during walking stimulates your endothelial cells to produce more nitric oxide, that crucial molecule that relaxes arterial smooth muscle and lowers vascular resistance. Unlike the acute nitric oxide burst from hand grip exercises, walking produces sustained nitric oxide elevation that lasts throughout your workout and for hours afterward. Johns Hopkins studies show that this prolonged vasodilation creates lasting improvements in arterial flexibility that accumulate with regular training. The weight-bearing nature of walking provides bone-strengthening benefits that isometric exercises and breathing cannot match. Each step creates impact forces that stimulate bone-forming cells called osteoblasts, increasing bone density over time. This is particularly important for older adults who face both high blood pressure and osteoporosis risk. Walking addresses both conditions simultaneously, providing remarkable efficiency for health improvement. The mental health benefits of outdoor walking amplify its blood pressure, lowering effects through stress reduction pathways. Research from Stanford University shows that walking in natural environments like parks or tree-lined neighborhoods reduces cortisol levels and anxiety more effectively than walking on indoor treadmills. Lower stress hormones mean less chronic sympathetic nervous system activation, allowing your blood pressure to settle into healthier baseline levels. The optimal pace for blood pressure benefits can be determined using the talk test. You should be able to speak in complete sentences, but not carry on an extended conversation or sing. If you can easily chat away, you're moving too slowly to achieve cardiovascular benefits. If you cannot speak without gasping for breath, you're pushing too hard and risking dangerous pressure spikes. The sweet spot in between maximizes benefits while ensuring safety. Proper walking form enhances cardiovascular benefits and prevents injuries that could derail your exercise program. Stand tall with your head up and eyes forward, not looking down at your feet. Keep your shoulders back and relaxed, not hunched forward. Swing your arms naturally, bending elbows to about 90 degrees. Land on your heel and roll through to push off with your toes. This efficient form allows faster walking with less effort, making it easier to maintain your target pace for the full 30 minutes. The timing of your walking sessions can be adjusted to fit your schedule and preferences. Morning walks energize you for the day ahead and establish an active pattern that often leads to healthier choices throughout the day. Lunchtime walks provide a mental break from work stress and prevent the afternoon energy slump many people experience. Evening walks help decompress from daily stress and can improve sleep quality by reducing cortisol levels before bed. Breaking the 30 minutes into shorter segments works nearly as well as one continuous walk if your schedule or fitness level requires it. Research from the American Heart Association shows that 3 10-minute walks spread throughout the day produce similar blood pressure benefits to one 30-minute session. This flexibility makes the exercise goal achievable even on busy days when finding 30 consecutive minutes seems impossible. The progressive overload principle applies to walking just as it does to other exercises. Start with whatever duration and pace you can manage comfortably, even if that's just 10 minutes at a moderate pace. Gradually increase duration by 5 minutes per week until you reach 30 minutes. Then work on increasing pace. This gradual progression prevents injury and burnout while building sustainable fitness that supports lifelong blood pressure control. Walking with a friend or group enhances adherence through social accountability and enjoyment. Studies show that people who exercise with others stick with their programs much longer than those exercising alone. The social connection also provides stress relief and emotional support that indirectly benefit blood pressure through reduced anxiety and improved mood. The cumulative cardiovascular adaptations from regular walking extend far beyond blood pressure reduction. Your body develops more capillaries to supply working muscles with oxygen, improving circulation throughout your body. Your heart muscle strengthens and pumps more blood per beat, allowing it to work more efficiently with a lower resting heart rate. Your arteries become more flexible and responsive to changing blood flow demands, reducing the stiffness that drives pressure higher with age. Here's what changes everything. The synergistic effects of combining all three exercises amplify their individual blood pressure, lowering benefits beyond what any single approach achieves. I'm revealing the optimal daily schedule that maximizes pressure reduction while fitting into even the busiest lifestyle. The ideal routine involves practicing all three exercises on the same day rather than alternating between them. Morning provides the perfect time for your breathing exercises, setting a calm tone before daily stress accumulates. Perform your 15 minutes of paced breathing right after waking, while still in bed or immediately after getting up. This establishes parasympathetic nervous system dominance that helps prevent the dangerous morning blood pressure surge when most heart attacks occur. Schedule your hand grip exercises during a natural break in your day, such as mid-morning or mid-afternoon. The 12-minute duration fits perfectly into a work break, and you can perform the exercises while seated at your desk or in a common area. This timing provides a stress-relieving break that improves focus and productivity while delivering cardiovascular benefits that accumulate throughout the day. Plan your brisk walking for whenever you can. Most consistently fit 30 minutes into your schedule. Many people find that walking immediately after work provides the perfect transition between work stress and home relaxation. Others prefer morning walks before breakfast or evening walks after dinner. The key is choosing a time you can maintain consistently, as regularity matters more than the specific hour you choose. The total time commitment of 57 minutes daily might seem daunting initially, but remember, these exercises can overlap with activities you're already doing. Practice breathing while still in bed before rising. Do hand grips while watching television or during video calls where you're not on camera. Walk to accomplish errands or as part of your commute. This integration into existing routines makes the commitment sustainable long-term. The blood pressure reductions from combining all three approaches exceed simple addition of their individual effects. Research from the Cleveland Clinic shows that people practicing multiple blood pressure, lowering interventions experience synergistic benefits, with combination approaches reducing pressure 30 to 40% more than predicted from adding individual effects. This synergy happens because different exercises activate complementary pathways that reinforce each other. Here's the shocking truth. Exercising late at night, especially within 2 hours of bedtime, can actually raise your blood pressure and disrupt the healthy overnight pressure dip that protects your cardiovascular system. I'm revealing how evening exercise timing affects your circadian blood pressure rhythm in ways most doctors never explain. Your blood pressure follows a circadian pattern, rising in the morning, staying elevated during waking hours, then dropping 10 to 20% during sleep. This nighttime dipping is crucial for cardiovascular health, allowing your heart and arteries to recover from daytime stress. People whose pressure fails to dip adequately at night face dramatically higher risk of heart attack, stroke, and organ damage. Exercise within 2 hours of bedtime can interfere with this natural dipping pattern by maintaining elevated sympathetic nervous system activity into the night. Research from the University of Arizona shows that people who exercise vigorously in the evening experience reduced nocturnal blood pressure dipping and poorer sleep quality compared to those who exercise earlier in the day. The stimulating effects of exercise need several hours to dissipate before your body can shift into the parasympathetic dominance necessary for restorative sleep. The optimal cutoff time for vigorous exercise is approximately 3 hours before your planned bedtime. This allows your heart rate, body temperature, and stress hormones to return to baseline levels before you attempt to sleep. For the exercises in this video, finish your brisk walking by early evening at the latest, and avoid hand grip training in the hours just before bed. Breathing exercises represent the one exception to this timing rule. Paced breathing performed right before bed actually enhances sleep quality and supports healthy nocturnal blood pressure dipping by activating your parasympathetic nervous system. Many people find that 10 to 15 minutes of slow breathing helps them fall asleep faster and sleep more soundly, creating a positive feedback loop where better sleep further improves daytime blood pressure control. You now understand the 3 simple exercises that lower blood pressure fast through proven mechanisms backed by research from Johns Hopkins, Harvard, Stanford, and other leading institutions. Isometric hand grip holds for 12 minutes, daily trigger systemic nitric oxide release, and improve endothelial function throughout your vascular system. Deep breathing at 6 breaths per minute for 15 minutes activates your parasympathetic nervous system and enhances baroreflex sensitivity. Brisk walking for 30 minutes, 5 times weekly, provides sustained cardiovascular conditioning that strengthens your heart and increases arterial flexibility. These exercises work through complementary mechanisms that produce synergistic blood pressure reductions, exceeding what any single approach achieves alone. The total time commitment of under 1 hour daily fits into even busy schedules, especially when integrated into existing routines, rather than treated as separate activities requiring dedicated time blocks. Most people notice measurable blood pressure improvements within 2 weeks of starting this exercise program, with maximum benefits appearing after 8 to 12 weeks of consistent practice. The difference between accepting a lifetime of blood pressure medication and achieving natural control comes down to dedicating less than 1 hour daily to these simple, equipment-free exercises. Avoid the critical mistake of exercising late at night, within 2 hours of bedtime, which interferes with a healthy nocturnal blood pressure, dipping essential for cardiovascular protection. Time your walking and hand grip exercises for morning or afternoon, reserving breathing exercises for morning and optionally before bed. Your action plan starts today with choosing one exercise to begin immediately while planning when you'll add the others. Don't wait for the perfect moment or ideal conditions. Start with whatever you can do today, even if that's just 10 minutes of walking or 5 minutes of breathing. Progress comes from consistent action, not perfect execution. If this video helped you understand how to lower blood pressure naturally through simple exercises, please share it with someone you know who struggles with hypertension, because natural solutions deserve to reach everyone suffering needlessly. Make sure to subscribe to Cardivive for more natural blood pressure strategies that actually work, and hit the notification bell so you never miss life-changing information. Thanks for trusting me with your precious time and allowing me to share these natural solutions for your blood pressure journey. I'll see you in the next video.